The Easy Flash Parallel. This is going to be such a quick video that it could honestly just be a short. It's good. I mean, it's a good product. This is the thing is that the R4 cards have been around for a very long time. So long that I remember way back in the day when this was still new, that my friend had one of those like multi carts with all the Pokemon games. This was before even like Black and White came out, I believe. And I was like, whoa, how did you get one of those? Nintendo sells those? No, they don't. They never did. They hated those. They still hate them. But that was probably the early beginnings of R4. I don't know. My R4 history, very lacking. But what I do know about R4 is these things have a lot of problems with them. And not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. But what I do know about these things is that there's a thing called a time bomb on a lot of these. And if you don't know what a time bomb is, if you can't put that together, is that there's a ticking time bomb in this thing. In fact, this one has already gone off. This one does not work anymore. It is incredibly annoying. And I know there's not an SD card in here, but let me just show you what happens when you try and load this R4 card up. It's not even going to get recognized, apparently. Do I actually need an SD card in there? Okay, it worked on here. It just loads and loads and loads and loads endlessly. I know no SD card in there. It doesn't matter, even with an SD card in there. I've tried all sorts of different firmwares. It just does not work. Tons of different micro SD cards, tons of different formats. I tried everything. And the reason I wanted this is because, if we're being honest here, I don't own Mario Kart DS, and I wanted to show that off on my video for this thing, actually. And so what I did is I got one of these. And so I was like, yeah, I'll make a video on it. But the thing is, it's a flash cart. There's not much to say about flash carts. You can put a bunch of ROMs on them, legal or illegally, and they just works. You can have all sorts of games on your Nintendo DS. We've got a ton of DS games on here that I obviously 100% legally own every single one of these. You can fit a ton of DS games on here. Some people are crazy and they literally have the entire library on here. You're an animal. That's way too many things to sift through. And the reason why you would want to get the Easy Flash Parallel over an R4 card is maybe you just really like that this is a crystal clear. I cannot hold on to anything today. A crystal clear shell for this. It does look very clean, very cool, but this is pretty much the same as this, but this is newer and it's from a more reputable company, Easy Flash. I have a ton of other products from them. I have the Omega for the GBA. I've got the Junior for the GBC. They're great. I've had no issues with their products. I love them. But I wasn't itching to get the Easy Flash Parallel like everybody else was. I don't know why everybody was so excited about this, but it doesn't have a time bomb like a lot of R4 cards do, but not every R4 card does. And there's always, always, always a new one coming out every year. There's millions of variations of the R4 card, and they're all pretty much the same. The only difference is that might have a time bomb on this, and they specifically advertise on Easy Flash's website, no time bomb. So you should, in theory, be safe to use this for as long as the PCB lasts or any of the components last, which I guess in its own could be a time bomb because maybe one of these capacitors goes bad and you're screwed anyways. But this thing works just fine. I mean, you saw me use it. There's really nothing to it. You can put a bunch of DS games on here and it emulates a real DS cartridge. So it's going to work flawlessly. The game is going to have no problems. You can put your entire DS library on here. That way you don't have to carry around every game case you own or every game you own. Like, I've got a couple of these for my DS and 3DS collection. I've got Pokemon games in here and everything else in here. I don't want to have to carry all these around and then, I get robbed on vacation or I just lose it in a hotel room. I can lose this and now I'm only losing out on what, $25? And I can bring my entire library with me wherever I go. Fully entertained at all times. It's great. I'll leave a link down below. I think we can finally leave R4 in the past unless they come out with something fancy that makes it better. The only problem is R4 is generally cheaper than the Easy Flash Parallel, but the peace of mind of not having a time bomb and from the reputation that Easy Flash has, I think it's worth a little bit more in price. It's just, I don't really see a need for this if you already have an R4 card that works just fine. What I'd really like is if Easy Flash came out with a 3DS version of this. As far as I'm aware, even though a lot of R4 cards say 3DS on this, it just means you can use it in a 3DS. You can't put 3DS games on a flash card that I know of. And I think that would be very cool to have, but it is fairly easy to mod a 3DS nowadays to put all your games on there. But, you know, I don't think this would be a bad idea because it would be a lot easier in my mind to just load ROMs onto here and that's it. You know, you don't have to mess around with firmware and oh, don't do this and oh, the way you do it has changed now because it changes every freaking day how you mod a 3DS. Every time I've ever done a software mod, it's different the next time if I do it to the same exact console. I like flashcards a lot. It's a good one. Again, link in the description. Go check it out. I don't know. There's really nothing to say about this thing. It's just a good product. And if it's something you're interested in, just go buy it. It's the best one you can get.